Alrighty. So I'm late, but I was catching up with a girlfriend on just like life and changes and all that good stuff. But I'm here and we're going to do our first spiritual hour. I'm excited. Hopefully, y'all are excited too. Let me lit the candle as I do. Hope y'all are having a swell day. Hopefully, y'all trying to keep the peace because people are wild out there. It's anarchy, it's riots, it's protests. But we're going to cleanse the energy, we're going to cleanse the air, and we are start our reading off right. Okay. We are cleansing the air, we are cleansing the space, good vibrations. We are putting in good energy, we are putting in good vibrations. We are thinking of positivity because we'll be answering some people's questions and we'll be coming from a space of love and light and empowerment. So, soak that in and release all of that angst, that negativity, and all of that stank. Okay, so let us crack open the tarot card, the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. My favorite. Okay, we have 10 questions. We'll see how far we go with it. We might continue with all 10 and we might just do 5, but let's see how the vibe goes. Let's make sure we clear the deck. I like hitting all 4 angles, clearing the deck of any vibes, any energy, any residuals of previous readings. So we come in clear, we come in with concise, we come in with an empty blank slate, so to speak. So the first question, and when I do these, I will put it the number and then I'll put the letter of the person who sent in. So I won't put out their information like their name unless they requested it because privacy is a thing. So if you don't want your name actually said in the live, you can just be like, you can call me T, you can call me A, you can call me P, you call me whatever, and I will select your question in the order that I wanted to go down the list, and I'll just put the first letter of your name for privacy. Unless you say you don't care, and I'm just gonna tell you the name, and it's just gonna be like that. So, the first question is titled Baby Daddy Issues. Yikes. Hey, Black Woman Vibes. I am in a long-term relationship with my baby deity. I want marriage, but he doesn't think it's necessary. LOL. He's a naker, but I love him and I want to make our relationship last. I don't want to push him away, but I want that ring girl. I want to be a I don't want to be a baby mama. I want to be a wife. Is marriage in the near future for me and my baby deity, or should I let him go? So, when it comes to tarot or anything spirituality to this extent, when you ask questions, it should less be on the part of yes and no. It should be more in depth and it should be a fluid. It shouldn't just be an open and end question because I'm not a psychic. It's funny because I did a tarot reading couple months ago, and this woman was just so amazed at how empathic and how accurate I was with the reading. And she was telling her sister, like, you should stick to that psychic. She knows what she's talking about. That psychic is good. And I was like, ma'am, I'm not a psychic. Not a psychic. I'm just really good at what I do, and I appreciate you taking notice of that, but I'm not a psychic. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell what you done ate for dinner. It's not that type of party. But I appreciate you, but it's not that type of party. So I'm going to rearrange this and say Um, cards. Will T find marriage? Will T be able? Okay. How is marriage in the near future for T in regards to her marriage, and or well, is marriage in the future for T? And if not, should T let him go? What is the thought process? What is the attitude? What is there a long-term commitment for T and said baby daddy? Is she gonna be wifey? Is wifey for her in the cards? Please let me know. We'll do three cards. We'll see what the deck has for us. In my personal opinion, you don't even have to worry about these type of situations if you make sure that you got the ring prior to having that baby, because when you have the baby first and you hope for the ring, you hoping for the ring. But once you have the ring, you can hope for the baby, you can plan for the baby, you can put the baby on pause. You can never have a baby. It's your prerogative. But when you're in that situation where you put the baby first, because I think a lot of y'all do that because you want to trap the dude. You think like, oh, if I have the baby first, he's not gonna leave me because I have his kid, and y'all keep playing them games knowing that that's not how it typically goes. Because we see that all the time. Men will have babies with women and let them be baby mamas while they fool la la and live their best lives. That's not something you should bet on. But I'm not here to judge. I'm only here to read. Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, one more card, Spirit. Two more cards actually. Two more cards in regards to T. What is the sentiments of her baby Zadie? How does he feel about the start of a relationship? Will it be a long-term commitment? Will it lead to marriage? Will it not lead to marriage? And if nay on the marriage, we have another card. It is the two of, no, it is the Seven of Wands in reverse. And if it doesn't lead to marriage, what is the best advice for T? Hmm. I wish women would, not fall into that trap of baby first, marriage possibly second. One more card. Cards. One more card. If possible, if you don't feel like it's in the best manner for there to be a third card, then there won't be a third card. But hopefully, we can get three cards to really evaluate the scenario. Okay, let me do. Ooh, alrighty. So we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Swords. Now, with these first two cards, the Two of Pentacles is speaking about balance, it's speaking of metamorphosis, it's speaking of um, infinite, because we have, if you can see, you have the infinity sign that speaks to forever. It speaks to you don't know the beginning, you don't know the end. It's emerged, it's synchronicity, it's balance, it's collaborative, but it's in reverse. So I see that y'all have a strong, I see that there's a lot of passion there, there's a lot of consistency there, there's a lot of integration of your life and his life, since your chromosomes and everything have been blended, like that makes sense. But With the Seven of Wands, I see that you have the need to make it official. I'm tired of being a baby mama. I want the ring. And I don't see that energy being reciprocated. I feel like he's okay where things are, that he thinks that the relationship is okay. Like, you getting your, hold on, you getting, he's getting his needs met. What's the problem? And he sees that you're nitpicking, and he doesn't really like that. That's what I'm getting. Like, he doesn't really nitpicking, but I think it's more for you because you feel insecure. You feel like, I did things bad, or I did things backwards, and now everybody not judging you per se, or people look at you as if going on. Continue on in regards to psych. Should she change her major? What do you think is best for her? Is it going to be abundantly successful for her? Will this, improve her career, improve her life? Is this something that she should invest in? Uh, is this something to invest in even as a major, a minor? What are your views on it? What do you think? My I already stated what I think about it as someone been there, done that. But as I see the future of the job market, the future of society, I think mental health will always be a part of society. I think we've got to a point where we don't see it as taboo or deranged or anything like that. We're a little bit more sensitive to the issue. We have a long way to go. Oop, first card, the world card in reverse. We have a long ways to go, but I think we made a major improvement in society now compared to the days of yesteryear. However, ooh, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. I think a lot of people underestimate the value of psychology, and it's not a major that pays. I'm be honest with you, babe. It's not a major that pays. Unless you're a psychiatrist and you can prescribe, or you get your PhD. But usually it's a lot of education, which, learning is great, but the pay rate, not so great. Be honest with you, babe. Can I get one more card, cards? What do you think is the best option for C? Do you think this should be something that she should go for? Do you think that it should be something that she should put on pause? Let us know. Let us know. Let me do this. Mm, okay. So we have the World card in reverse. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We also have the Nine of Cups. So what I'm getting from this is that going for psych wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be bad for you to learn, because that's the point of college. You go to college, you learn, you expand, you have an experience. It makes you a better person. It shapes you and gets you career ready, life ready, and all that jazz. However, I don't really see it in the cards for you to take it as a major, perhaps a minor. I didn't get more information. I don't know what you want to do with the psych degree. I don't know how you're going to utilize it, how you're going to invest it, how is it going to impact you. I don't even know if you're paying for it straight out of pocket, or, student loans, or whatever the case may be. From the information, the little that I have, I'm getting that it would not be advantageous in a world scope, in a scope of advancing yourself. I think it would limit you if you took it as a major. I think it wouldn't benefit you, because the world card is speaking like having the world in your hand and 360, and being well rounded. But The Six of Wands is also speaking of like changing directions, expanding, curving a bad situation, but it's in reverse. So I think that would actually be leading you into a situation that would be limiting to you. But because I see the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is speaking of balance, emotional balance, it's speaking of expansion, getting in tune with yourself, getting in tune with your empathic self and your feelings, your creativity. I think that you can take a few psych classes, learn as much as you can, whether it's developmental psychology, whether it's different theorists like Freud or Piaget or Maslow, whatever you like. But I wouldn't necessarily make that my focus of a degree, more like um, courses that you take here or there, just filler courses, but I wouldn't make it my basis of my major. So that's what I'm getting from the cards. Alrighty. Question number 3 by Jay. Hypergamy or love? It's gonna be hypergamy, but we'll read. Hey, hi Black Woman Vibes. I love what you do. Thanks. Your opinions are refreshing, and I like how you deliver the message of divestment. I am a mature woman in her 40s who love Black people, including niggers. Okay. But I know the pickings are slim. I'm glad you know. What's stopping me from truly divesting and dating interracially is my love for Black culture. You can do both, but okay. I don't think a white man or any man will understand me as a Black woman like the Black man. Doubt it. Is it possible to find love within my race, or does love only exist with white and or Black men? So I don't want people to think that I'm trying to force any type of agenda, child. What you do with your coach is totally your own business. I have no stake in the game, goddamn it. But what I am saying, from a person who's experienced both sides and a person who reads the statistics, who sees the life outcomes, the quality of life, I just want the best for me. So I would give you the same advice that I would give myself. And what I would give myself is divestment. But are there Black women who live a hypergamous life, who live a great quality of life, and they are married to Black men? Of course. But what I'm saying is that on average, that's not what we see. And I'm talking about numbers wise. I'm not talking about the few minor instances that we might see on TV, or the few minor instances that we might see in our families. I'm talking about like hardcore facts, actuals and factual statistics. The Brookings Institute did a study not too long ago. I want to say maybe even 3 years ago, where they collected data and they found out that women's overall quality of life is not based on necessarily what they do, but who they partner up with. And they were specifically speaking to Black women and Black men. And Black women have about the same amount of chances to escape poverty as white women until we marry Black men. So I'm not talking about this from a point of view of you're hurt, you're bitter, you're rejected. I'm talking about this on a point of like, a bitch ain't trying to jungle, and that's just that on that. But we'll ask the cards. Um, Cards, can you please show us, is love in the cards for Miss J in, well, is love in the cards for Miss J, and well, is it? I don't want to say, does love only exist with white men or non-black? I'm not gonna say that, but I'll answer your question. Will Miss J find love through hypergamy? And if so, what kind of love will it be? Will it be a struggle love? Will it be a love full of expansion, desire, passion, protection, producing, providing, problem solving, all the P's that we actually love as women, the 4 P's? And will it be from her own race, or will she have to expand? And I also want to remark that there's nothing wrong with expanding. Expanding is necessary. Expanding is a part of life, whether you stay in your race or outside of your race. Your relationship should grow with you as you mature in this life. Just throwing it out there. But cards, okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Cards, please reveal to us what is the best answer for Miss J. Will love be on the brain? We have the card in reverse. One more card, cards. One more card. What is love looking like for Miss J? Will it be a hypergamous one where she is dating out and sampling all of her options, or will it be a struggle muling type of love? Ooh, okay. And we have the death card in reverse. So, what I am receiving is that the Seven of Pentacles upright usually talks about looking back, contemplating, seeing your strategy, seeing where you went wrong, seeing where you went right, and making certain steps, making certain moves to like course correct. But this is in reverse. The moon card has to do with your emotions. It has to do even with your mother, your relationship with your mother. But for the most part, the moon card has to do with how you are in tune with your feelings, how you are receiving your emotions, the things that are going in your life, your shadow side, um, bringing up the subconscious and really analyzing that, being in tune with yourself. But that's in reverse. And then we have the death card, which is also in reverse. So what I'm seeing is that you are limiting yourself because you want to limit yourself. I think you know the answer to your own question, but you feel tied probably to like race loyalty, and you feel tied because probably this is what you were raised with, your family's expectations. You don't want to bring the white boys on some Guess Who's Coming to Dinner featuring Bernie Mac and Zoldana Soledad or whatever her name is. So you worried about it, but you know what you should ultimately do. I'm not going to tell you what you do because it's your life, but you know what's best for you, but you don't want to do that because you're too concerned about what other people think. And in any relationship with any man, if you're not woman enough to stand in your own ish, regardless, it's not going to work out because everybody's going to have an opinion on your relationship, what you do with your hair, with your makeup. You're a black woman. Everybody got critiques. But if you can't stand in your own shit and make your own decisions and be like, this is who I'm messing with, this is who I'm linked up with, this is who I'm partnered with, who gonna check me, boo? Then you probably don't need to be in a relationship because it seems like you're very insecure and you based your existence on other people's thought patterns, what they like, what they don't like, which means you're more of a puppet than a person who's ready to be in a relationship. So if I were you, I wouldn't even be more concerned black, white, or Martian. I'd be more concerned about getting me right. So whomever I ultimately choose to be with, it'd be a person that I can be proud of and a person that I won't play to the left like dust if someone even tries it. But then again, I would be a person where it's like you can't even try me or even ask me about who I'm linked up with because it's none of your damn business. And that's on period. Moving on. Um, okay. 4E, sick pet. Good morning, Black Woman Vibes. I am writing to you because I have a Shih Tzu and he's been sick for the last couple of days. I hope he's getting better. I had Johnny since I was, it's kind of cute. He has helped me get through a lot of emotional stuff, and he's literally my best friend. I don't know what I would do without him. I'm the pet owner that dresses in matching outfits with my dog. I guess. I guess. It's your dog. I guess. Emily and Johnny, two baddies, and now I feel like I'm going to lose him. I don't know what I will be able to do without my best friend. I'm writing to ask what does Spirit has to tell me in regards to Johnny. Like, is this Spirit's plan? And if so, why? I hope Johnny's okay. Okay. Spirit, please help Emily figure out what will become of Johnny. Will Johnny live to bark another day? Or is this Johnny's end of the road? And whichever you select for said Johnny, um, why is this a part of the plan? I think Emily's looking for some closure. And cards, can you give Emily said closure? I'm not a pet owner. I would like to have a pet sometime in the future, but I can sympathize. I mean, losing anything that's close and near and dear to you has to be sad, has to be traumatic, whether it's an animal or a person. So I definitely sympathize on that level, and I hope Johnny is doing well. I hope Johnny survives. So we'll see what the cards has in store for you and Johnny. And just know that things happen for a reason. This is all a part of the grand scheme of life. This is a grand plan. Sometimes we just don't understand now, and sometimes we will never understand. But know that this is part of the human experience, and that doesn't say anything in regards to you, your pet owner abilities. It doesn't mean that Johnny doesn't love you or you wasn't good to Johnny. It just means that we all have an expiration date, and sometimes ours comes faster than what we would have anticipated. But from what I can read, it seems like you are a pretty swell pet owner. Okay, so we have two cards that came out: the moon upright, we have the devil in reverse. One more card. Cards. What is the message you have for Emily in regards to her pet? And I see the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So, what I'm getting from these cards is that you're very emotional about this. Shit, I'm becoming emotional about this. You're very emotional about this. Johnny means a lot to you. Like you said, you had him since you were a preteen. You've developed a lot of love, a lot of concern for Johnny. And then, Johnny is on Johnny's last leg, so to speak. So, of course, you feel impacted by whichever way. You want to know answers, and you want to know the reason why. So that makes sense. The devil card in reverse, which is actually good. The devil card is in reverse. It means that you have a positive attachment to your dog. Your dog is very connected to you in a healthy and emotionally stable type of way. Perhaps you leaned on your dog for a lot of moral support. Those turbulent teen years, those awkward years, maybe your dog helped you navigate that, made you feel more secure, made you feel more confident. But I see with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which if you see here, it looks like a rose that's wilting and dying. It's in reverse. So the way I'm picking this up is that Johnny is really sick, but probably Johnny will recover. Maybe there'll be some scarring. Maybe there will be some disabilities of sorts after the fact, but I see that there is no death for Johnny. I see that there will be some type of recovery. It might be expensive, but I can't really tell you what the grand plan is, but I will say that cherish every moment that you have with your dog. Cherish every moment, do things with your dog, take pictures with your dog, and know that even if Johnny doesn't make it, whether it's next week, next month, next year, next whatever, Johnny will always appreciate you as a pet owner, and you will always appreciate Johnny as your dog because of the moments that you shared and the experiences that you had. And that's part of your grand scheme and grand plan and experience of life. Hopefully that helps. Okay. So now we have 5S, rekindling, rekindle mother relationship. Ooh, child. Hi, Black Woman Vibes. Love your videos. Thanks, Boo. I've been binge watching your videos. The one that stuck out to me was I have what stuck out to me was the Mama's Nakers and why their relationship is incestuously toxic, especially the part about vulnerable narcissists. I would like for you to make a video about vulnerable narcissists because that's a term I just heard, the vulnerable part, not the narcissist. I think my mother might be a vulnerable narcissist. She has always tried to manipulate me through guilt and fear to make me obedient, but allowed my brothers to do whatever. She had high expectations for me, but could care less what her shitty sons did. I guess you can call her a mammy. Sounds very mammy-ish. I remember her antagonizing me and letting me figure out womanhood by myself. That's trash. Um, the antagonizing and figuring out womanhood by yourself. You definitely need to be guided. Definitely. That was trash on her part. Sorry, not sorry. She chose men over me as well. Now that I'm an adult and she's very sick, she wants to rekindle a mother-daughter relationship. I don't feel comfortable, but she is my mother and I am her only daughter. Can you ask if Spirit thinks I should rekindle this relationship or should I continue to divest from her and Blackistan and my shitty brothers? I would say divest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would just be like, cut them off, cut them off, cut them off. Like, mama done transgressed way too many times, and she's shooting shitty dudes and shitty sons over you. That's a dub. In regards to your question about making more videos about vulnerable narcissists, I definitely can talk about that more. I definitely know what that situation is and the symptoms and whatnot. We can go into further details about that sometime in the future. But definitely, I definitely will consider that. I'll ask Spirit again, y'all. I prefer for y'all not to ask yes or no questions because I'm not a psychic. So that's why I'm trying to rearrange the questions where it's a lot more flexible and fluid and it's not yes or no. Um, Spirit, should S should S invest should S invest? Should S invest in her relationship with her mother and Blackistan and her shitty brothers, or is it best for her to divest and choose herself? What is the energy surrounding the relationship in regards to S and her mother? Oops. Here we go. We have the Four of Pentacles. What is the energy regarding S and her mother? What is the energy regarding S and Blackistan, her shitty brothers? What is the best solution for S in regards to her mental health? Because that needs to be protected. Her physical health, her overall happiness, because that's important. Should she invest in those who did not invest in her? Or should she step away and invest in herself and create her own family that she unfortunately did not have while growing up? And they usually be like that. People who be on some F stuff, when they get old or they get sick and they start, looking to the left and looking to the right and noticing that those that they invested in when they old and they ain't spring chicken no more, them folks ain't around and all of a sudden they start calling. All of a sudden they start scratching. All of a sudden they know your name. They know your number. They know where you stay at. You need to be mindful of that because that speaks of user type of energy and it also speaks of the fact that you don't have boundaries for yourself. Oh, the temperance card. Mm. One more card, cards, one more card. Okay. And we have the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, what I am receiving from the Four of Pentacles, it speaks to like trying to keep things afloat, not necessarily in a sense of balance, but in a sense of like trying to, it's like manifesting material goods and investing in such things, but it's also like keeping order, kind of like that Virgo energy, keeping structure, keeping things together. And the Temperance card is really about making a decision, which is what you're asking me to do. Is it's making decision, but also it's about keeping yourself level headed, making sure everything's in order, but also everything is right and conducive for you, that you're making the right decisions, that you're not just jumping off the porch too easily or too quickly, and that you're thinking of all angles, you're thinking and analyzing what's the best choice for you in this decision. And the Two of Swords, if it's upright, it's usually speaking of not being able to see what's in front of you, is like blindfolded, and the lack of balance and not trying to see what's clearly in front of you. From what you have described to me and what I'm picking up from the cards is that you feel guilt tripped into being that good daughter, even though you didn't receive a good mother. And you feel that because she is sick, and you're probably the responsible one, the responsible child. So you are probably the one who's making sure that you check up on her and that everything is in order, and you care, you care, since you're writing this to me, you care about her health, you care about her overall happiness and in her sickness, whatever her sickness may be. But I feel like you're sacrificing yourself to make her happy, and you're sacrificing yourself to prove that you're the good one, that you were the one who really cared, and you're still trying to buy her affection. And you don't want to choose, you have all the right in the world to do so, because you don't want to be seen as the bad child who left their mother when they were sick, and you don't care, and you're heartless. But was she not heartless when she chose men over you? Was she not heartless when she let you navigate womanhood by yourself? Were you not, was she not heartless when she chose her nacre ass sons over you? Keep that same energy. But I don't want to say what you should or should not do, as opposed to, there's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. There's nothing wrong with requiring reciprocity. There's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. If you do so choose to rekindle the relationship, you can do that. But I would definitely let her know that although you may or may not hold grudges, you have your boundaries, you have your standards. Yes, you can assist, but you're not going to be sacrificing yourself. You're not going to be calling her every day. May not be checking up on her every day. That you will do what you feel is necessary for you to do, but you don't owe her anything, just like she didn't feel like she owed you a good mother while growing up. In my personal opinion, dead the Blackistan thing, dead the shitty nacre thing. You don't need them shitty nacres in your face and sucking you dry. You don't need that Blackistani, pro-black, one-sided consistency and all that other bullshit. You can leave that to the left. It don't even matter. Um, but if you choose to keep your relationship with your moms or rekindle said relationship, definitely set boundaries and expectations. And if they're not met, there is nothing wrong with going dark and just say, that's that on that. That's the end. It's a wrap. I'm gonna be living my life like it's golden, unapologetically. Period. Next. Okay. Let me see. Okay, okay. Everything's in order. 6K. Pursuing acting. Hey sis, my name is Keisha. I don't care if you say my name. I'm 22 years old. I live in Los Angeles and I want to be an actress. I know this isn't the best time with Corona and everything, but I know I can be the next Halle Berry. I have the talent, the look, and charisma. I could be the Beyonce of acting. Wow, you just putting in like all types of accolades. No exaggeration. I've taken acting classes since I was 5 and been to school plays and local stuff. I know you'd probably think I'm crazy, but you only live once, and I'm young enough to pursue acting. And if it fails, crossing my fingers that it doesn't, LOL, I can bounce back into something quote unquote stable, quote unquote. Please don't crush my dreams. I want to know if Spirit thinks acting is the best career path for me. LOL. I noticed that you say LOL a lot, and I feel like I personally don't use LOL a lot. And if I do LOL, I am literally laughing out loud. I feel like you're either very young, which you're 22, so yeah, you are young. So you do LOL because that's what young people do. But I also feel like LOL is a way of being a little insecure, and it's a way of breaking the ice or making things a little bit less stern. So you say LOL, but it comes off kind of immature. You don't, that's just me though. That's just me. Let's see if acting is in the cards for you by asking said cards. Spirit, what is the best career path for Kay? Is acting the way it should be? Is it where it's at? Is it the best path for her? And it's not just Corona, babe. It's just acting is really hard to break into. There's a lot of people who say, I'm going to go to California and I'm going to be a star. And they just end up being a waitress. And there's nothing wrong with being a waitress, but that's not their overall dreams. There's just so many roles to fulfill, and you're competing against veterans and new people who think that they're going to be the next actress. And you got to avoid folks like the casting couch and Harvey Weinstein and all these predatory folks. So it's not necessarily just about talent and being cute and being young. It's also the ability to pick out a good script from a bad script. What about the royalties? What about the contracts? Do you have a manager? It's a lot. And I'm not even invested in acting, but I know it's a lot. And you got to avoid the predatory people and the people who's going to just take advantage and whatnot. But it's your life. You don't want me to crush your dreams, so I shall not. But I think it would be irresponsible of me to not tell you the wide scope of things. And those are some things that you might want to consider. But cards, please let us know if Kay should invest in her dreams of acting, if she should pursue it. What is the best career path? Could she be the next Halle Berry, the next Monsters Ball? Okay, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Will she be the next Beyonce? The Beyonce of acting. Oof. We got the Devil card in reverse. Okay, one more card. Cards, one more card. What is the best option for Kay in regards to acting? Will she be a feature? There's some people who are professional background actors. They're professional people who don't have major roles, but they're there. Perhaps that's what you should go for. And we have the Five of Wands. Okay. So, what I'm getting from this, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Devil card in reverse, and the Five of Wands. Okay. I'm seeing that you're very creative. I'll say that first and foremost. The water, the cups speaks to water and water speaks to emotions. So you're very creative. You're very talented. You're very colorful. You have this je ne sais quoi allure about you. I'm pretty sure you could be the next Halle Berry. I'm pretty sure you could be the Beyonce of acting. But it's in reverse. And I see that your concentration and your talents is more so on the level of, I need you to see me. I'm a star. I'm that it girl. I'm the next hot thing versus this is my talent, this is my passion, this is what I was born for, I breathe this. It's more like, see me, see me, see me, see me. So what you're trying to get into is not as genuine as you think. The devil card in reverse, I'm getting that again, it's all about image, and I get it because it's like acting, it's Hollywood, it's about presentation, it's about the products, about selling an idea, selling a dream, selling a whatever, selling a script, selling a role. But I feel like if you go off to Hollywood, you're gonna get caught up, girl. You're gonna get caught up. I feel like you're gonna be up on the casting couch. They're gonna have you like smutted out. You're gonna be out your mind. You're gonna be doing lines of coke. Like, I just, what I'm getting from these cards is just like, you just want to be seen so bad that you'll do anything to be seen. And there's just a lot of people who prey on that. And it's just not Harvey Weinstein. It's a lot of people, especially in that California area, that would do anything. You might even get caught up in like sex trafficking or being a webcam model or just a lot of things that I don't think you're prepared for. I think you're really just coming off on some, I'm young, I'm green, I'm cute, let me do something that's easy like acting or something that's going to get me attention. And I feel like it's more of a need for attention, maybe on the attention whore vibe, versus this is my true passion and love. Because if this is your true passion and love, you would cultivate that. You would know the pros and cons of that. You would study that. You would be putting yourself in classes and whatnot. And what I see from what I'm reading is just me, I, give me attention. And then, like, give me the fame. And I feel like you might end up being infamous versus being truly famous. And then with the Five of Wands is scattered energy. And that's what I'm receiving from that. It kind of gives me the vibe of I'll do anything to be famous. Anything. And when you got that thirst energy, people will capitalize off of that. In my personal opinion, girl, take your ass to school, learn a trade, even do something like maybe volunteer skills to a Boys and Girls Club or something. But girl, I'm not gonna say you're not talented because you did get the Ten of Cups. But what I am saying is that making it in Hollywood isn't the best thing in life. Not saying it's the worst, but there's more to life than being on the silver screen. That's what I'm saying. Moving on. 7A, plastic surgery. Okay. Good afternoon, Black Woman Vibes. I'm 18 years old, just new booty, just emailing. And I want to remain anonymous. I'll grant you that. I have a sugar daddy. No, I don't feel embarrassed by it. And yes, he takes good care of me. He buys me whatever I want, including paying my in a condo. Okay, do that thing. And he gives me a handsome, like himself, allowance. Okay, braggadocious. He's Asian, Japanese to be specific. I'm petite, and I think that's why he likes me, including my dark skin and my mid-shoulder length 4C hair. Okay, okay. I'm told that I resemble Lupita. I'm flattered, but I don't think so. But I take it as a compliments because Lupita is gorgeous in all caps. Long story short, my Japanese deity wants me to get a boob job like DD's, double D's. I have perky A cups. They're not flat, but there could be more to show. My concern is that because I have such a small frame, I don't know how I feel about having that weight on my chest permanently. That's another level from stuffing my bra. I like your opinions about it and what's the long-term results of me getting a boob job. Make no mistakes, I'm getting my twins done. So if you get your twins done, why did you write? I'm not paying for it. Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, why have a sugar daddy if you still gotta pay for things? I can't wait to have some cleavage for a change. Okay. So what I'm getting from this is that you want the boob job, but you're worried that it might, cause like back pains or like make you look weird, like a letter P, so to speak, like Wendy's, so to speak. And you want to know if it's going to like harm your body or make you like cause medical problems in the long run. But you want some cleavage. and you're not paying for it. All right. So I guess you didn't really ask a question, but I'll turn this into a question. Um, Cards will well, what is the long-term effects for A in regards to plastic surgery? That's the question. What is the long-term effects for A in regards to plastic surgery? She's still okay. We have the Six of Wands. Okay. She's still getting the boob job. She ain't paying for it. Oop, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Okay. One more card. She's not paying for it, so life's good. It's not stacks out of her pocket, but she wants to know, is this the best choice for her in the long run in regards to her small frame? This, the Emperor in reverse. Okay. So the Six of Wands is basically a metamorphosis because it's a butterfly. Pretty, pretty. But it's also speaking of like it's rising, it's floating, it's fluttering. So it's saying like rising from the ashes, transforming, since you are, leaving A's to double D's. It's saying that you're probably gonna like it. It's probably gonna enhance your beauty or your chestisis, whatever. And the Ace of Wands is speaking to like abundance. It's striking. It's new. It's a flourishing. I'm seeing that you probably will like it. I'm pretty sure your Asian deity will like it as well. Um, and the Emperor card is in reverse. I feel like in the long run, you may regret to do it because you're doing it because someone else suggested. And the Emperor card speaks of stability. It's also associated with, Taurus, gang gang. But it's also speaking to like, consistency, stability, and all that jazz. You're in a sugar baby relationship. I'm not going to say sugar baby relationships aren't relationships, and I'm not saying that they can't be there for the long run, but it's very yes, reciprocal, but the term is transactional. So once the transaction is done and it's fulfilled, that does not necessarily mean that the relationship will be either. So I'm wondering, since you want to have cleavage yourself, is this mostly to make him happy, or is this, yeah, to make him happy, but like with or without him, I'm still going to like the boobies, and I'm still going to like feel comfortable in my body with the boobies if that does not include him. So I would ask yourself that. I don't see any medical problems in the long run. There may not be a relationship in the long run. You may not be with A's and Zaddy to the end. I don't know if that's really your steez. Is that really your goal? But I don't really see that there's going to be a medical issue. I don't see that there's going to any type of long-term problems with that. But speaking as a girl who got more than a little bit, um, you do feel it on your chest, especially when you wear a bra. That's why chicks who got more than a little bit, when we take off our bra, we feel very, very relaxed. We feel very, very free. We feel like we could breathe again because they are heavy. You do feel them. You can never miss them. Um, and the bigger they are, the heavier they are, the more they compress on your chest. And if your frame can't take it or you just don't want to take anymore, it could cause back problems. So if I were you, I'd be more concerned with that. I would talk to my surgeon or plastic surgeon and be like, hey, what do you recommend for my small frame? I want to get them bigger, but I want something that would be practical to my body. Don't just get the bizarre big old tiggies and then them things got you tipping over. Them things got you like, ooh, child, like you 9 months pregnant. Like, don't do that. Consult with your doctor, essentially. And if Asian daddy just want a little bit of cleavage, he could take a big B. He could take a big C. He don't gotta go double D. And you don't gotta go double D if you don't want to go double D either. Moving on. 8K lesbianism. Hi sis, I watch your videos faithfully and I agree with you for the most part. I'm a lesbian, as you can tell from my subject line, and my parts Oh, and my parents don't know. Okay, because I was confused. You said parts, you meant parents. I'm black, gay, and my parents are super woke, like Hotep woke, like Umar Johnson woke. Child. Captain American Maker. Anyways, yes, girl. I know what you're thinking. That's why I think I know yes, girl, I know what you're thinking. That I'm probably a social justice warrior or a mule or a mammy, but I'm neither. I'm pretty conservative actually. I know Candace Owens talking points, except I like Candace Owens talking points, except I'm a lesbian version of her. Besides me and my parents clashing on political views, they don't know I'm a lesbian. I fear that if they find out, they'll disown me or think that white supremacy has programmed me against them. It's absurd and cringe-worthy hearing them spew anti-white and anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. Meanwhile, they haven't went back to Africa like Marcus Garvey said. That part. A lot of them have not. That part. Not even Marcus Garvey, if you look into it. That part. Sorry, this is long, but my question to Spirit is, will my parents accept the lesbianism? And how should I break it to them? Okay. All right. Okay. We can ask cards. Cards, please reveal to us, how should Kay reveal her alternative lifestyle to her parents? Is this something she should take lightly? Should she really organize it? Should she make this a whole coming out party? Should it be like a gender reveal? How should Kay break the news that she like women's to her family? So we got the Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, two more cards. I hope they don't disown you, because whatever you choose to be in life, except if you have the Love of cards in reverse. Hopefully, it's not nothing crazy like a rapist or a murderer or anything like that. But for the most part, your parents should still love you regardless of what you choose to do with yourself, your life, and so on and so forth. If they really your parents and they really love you, they should, because you're walking around with their DNA. They should be able to look over the fact that you choose to live an alternative lifestyle, because they're your parents. The Daughter of Wands. Okay, okay. All animals. Okay, so the Daughter of Pentacles speaks to, you are more of a navigator. This is why you're asking me to navigate this scenario for you. You are a person that is logistics. You're good with natural elements. You're not really rah rah. You're not cardinal. You're more mutable. You like to work with people. You might come off as shy. You might come off as someone who works behind the scenes. It's interesting because as I'm looking at the card, there's a rainbow. Um, but it's in reverse. So I'm seeing that you are a person who feels very passionate, because this is a part of your identity, a part of your makeup. You did say gay, black. So, like, this is a part of who you are, and you're conservative. I think you are at a point in your life. Did you tell how old you are? I'm assuming probably in your 20s, early mid 20s, where you're comfortable with who you are and you don't want to play into charades. You don't want to save face. You don't want to make other people comfortable. You just want to be your authentic self. So I see that instead of playing the backseat to your own life, you're being more proactive and speaking your mind. Probably when you were younger, you had to play your part because you got woke ass parents, and you're an alternative, not only in your sexuality, but your viewpoints, your political views, and so on and so forth. So that probably caused some hesitation. So you probably kept your mouth shut. But now that you're an adult and you grown and who gonna beat your ass, you feel more comfortable taking that cardinal spirit and saying it for what it is. The Lover's card, I see that in reverse. I see that in regards to your parents. The Lover's card doesn't have to do with your parents. It speaks to like relationships, commitments, and long story short, in this image, there are two geese, Canadian geese, and once they get together, they're long-term partners. They don't go off, they don't separate, they're forever, ever. And I see that in reverse, and that's in regards to your relationship with your parents. I see that they might have some hesitation. You already know who they are. You know that they woke. You know that they extra 20 on 10. And you may find them maybe questioning you, maybe feeling off put by the conversation, by the outing. They may not initially welcome you. And with the Daughter of Wands, I see that that is someone who's artsy, someone who's about um, commitment. They're about themselves. They're about making things happen. They're passionate. That's a lot of cardinal energy. And what I'm seeing is that you will break it to them because I feel like you're at the point where you don't want to be silenced anymore. So you will break it to them. And I think initially they won't accept it. They might even fight with you. They might give you some wand energy, some fire energy. They might challenge you on this, but stand your ground. Know what I mean? Um, Ultimately, whether they choose to accept it or not accept it, you're okay with who you are. And that says more about them than it says about you. And you should stay firm in what you believe in and who you love and all that jazz. But if they're really your parents, the bottom of the deck is the strength card, inner strength. If they're really your parents, they'll come together. They will support you. They will love you, and they will just accept it. And if they don't, then create your own family. Moving on. 9N, daddy issues. I don't know my dad, and I feel like a reject. Oof. I can't get close to men because I can't trust men. My mom raised me well. I am an Oreo, I guess you can say. I'm a suburban black girl. Never had Blackistan experiences, but I think my father was a Naker from the hood. He and my mother met in high school. They fell in love, teenage love, puppy love, high school love, that thing. She got pregnant. He went to jail for possession. Ooh, possession of what? She wrote him, visited him, and even put money on his commissary. I wouldn't have done that. He got out when I was 5. My mother said she came to see him after he got out with me. He was paroled to my mother's house, my grandmother's house, who I know and still to this day have an excellent relationship with. That's important. Grannies are important. My mother said my father was happy to see me. He played with me and that I resembled him a lot. My mother said we stayed there for a few hours while my grandmother cooked dinner and awed over her son and my mother being a young family that their future was so bright together. The next day, they had plans to meet each other and get some catching up to do as a family. When my mother came over, my grandmother said my dad left in the middle of the night and never came back. Like a thief in the middle of the night? What? That was 18 years ago. Still to this day, my grandmother nor my mother knows where my dad went or if he's alive. I feel so dull inside when I think of this. How can a man just leave like this? Leave his soon to be wife and his daughter. I guess I'm writing you to ask where did my father go? Oh, child. I don't know if I got that type of answer. I don't know if I could do that. Um, I'll ask, but I think the better what you really need to focus on is getting healed. What you really need to focus on is loving yourself, feeling whole without your daddy, going to therapy, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you're worthy of being loved, knowing that you are secure, knowing that you aren't in the wrong. You're not bad. You're not unlovable. That it was your father's L. He wasn't ready to be a father. He wasn't ready to love you. He wasn't ready to give you what you needed. And you shouldn't take that personal. That's a character flaw within himself, not anything in resulting to who you are as a woman, who you are as a daughter, who you are as a person. And you shouldn't carry his burden and his L's because he's a trash ass father for leaving the first time going to jail because you didn't have to sell no goddamn drugs. And then the second time being paroled and then just dipping. Like that's trash. Granny need to throw her whole vagina away, but that's another discussion for another day. But don't make that your issue because that's his issue. And watch his ass try to come back like question 5S when he's old and dusty and nickerish and ain't got a tooth or money to his name. All of a sudden, oh my daughter, I've been looking for you. I love you. Let's rekindle the relationship because you're an old fart now. Mm. We have the Emperor card in reverse. We also have the Father of Wands in reverse. And in that case, child, if he ever comes back, you give him the booth, okay? You do like parking lot Karen or barbecue Karen, whatever, and you call the police. That's what you do. If he ever comes back, you call the police. There's a strange African American outside. Yeah, you pull that. You don't get to be a half-ass father and then just dip in when you feel like it. That's not how it goes. That's not how life goes. You skirt on that Negro and call the police. Okay? I there's a strange African American man in front of my door. I'm threatened. But do it with more sadness. Get your voice shooketh. There's a strange African American man at my door. I don't know who he is. He's calling my name. I think he's on drugs. Please, officer. Please. Yeah, play that. Play that. But let's see what Spirit has for us. One more card, Spirit. Let us know, let us know. Okay, and then we have the Sun. Okay, so with the Emperor card in reverse, again, Taurus in relation, but it's talking about stability. It's a tree. Tree is known for giving us life, for giving us oxygen, for giving us fruits. Some trees produce fruits or vegetables. And it's in reverse because that's usually the father figure. That's usually the stable force. That's usually the leader. And you didn't have one. He dipped out on his responsibility like a nacre would. And it's leaving you in disarray. You're feeling as if you're the one in the wrong, that you're the one who is unlovable, or that you did something to deserve this. And you did not. It's everything that has to do with him. It's nothing that has to do with you. So please don't take that personal. And it's saying in regards to your father, when it comes to the Emperor card in reverse, it has to do more with himself. I feel like he was insecure. He was young. He was hot-headed. He was not ready to be a father. And instead of saying he's not ready to be a father, and in all actuality, instead of putting on that condom, that contraceptive, he could have avoided all of this. He didn't. So he took the coward way out by dipping. And I feel like he didn't have the nerve, the man enough, the cahoots, the cojones to tell you straight up, or tell your mother straight up, like, I'm not ready for this. I can't be the man that you want. I can't be a husband. I can't be a father. He just dipped because he's scary. And again, that's not a reflection on you. That's a reflection on him. And possibly your granny and how she raised her son. She got to take that L too. That's your son. Father of Wands is speaking to authority, is speaking to emotions, but more so like a protector, a provider, a problem solver, a producer, and someone who is the authority force in the relationship, in the family dynamic, someone who is caring, someone who is concerned, someone who is um like a good father. And it's in reverse because you didn't have that. And that's what you're missing. And because you miss that, you feel as if you're inadequate or you're incomplete, which is understandable because you're walking around with someone's DNA within you and they didn't have the gumption to actually raise you. So like that makes so much sense. And with the Sun card, I am seeing that it's speaking of warmth, it's speaking of relationships, it's speaking of connectedness, but the way I'm reading this and I'm interpreting this is spirit. I think what spirit wants you to know is that draw closer to spirit, meditate with spirit, be one with spirit, and you'll be healed to the point where you're not going to be asking where your daddy went, and you'll be okay knowing that your daddy left, because you're not holding on to someone who's not checking for you, who's not concerned with you, who didn't teach you how to ride a bike, who didn't put band-aids on your boo-boo, who didn't go to your parent-teacher meetings, who didn't do all that daughter-father stuff. So you need to draw close to your intuition, draw close to spirit, draw close to your self-love, where you can feel whole and you can feel complete and you can feel worthy without having a father. And definitely go to therapy. Definitely meditate, practice self-care, practice prioritizing yourself. And I'm not going to say that's going to make you feel better about not having a father, or that's going to make your father come around, or you'll find a substitute father. But what I will say is that it won't make you feel as if you're dull, and it won't make you feel as if you're rejected, because you are not your father, in a sense of his decision is not based on who you are, and it does not validate or invalidate you. But definitely go to therapy, girl. And it's not just because of this. I think everybody should go to therapy at least one time in their life. So it's not just a specific you situation. I think it's an everybody situation. But in regards to what you're asking, definitely go to therapy. Okay. Whew. The 10th question, that's hefty as a mug. All right. 10 why. Beat a bitch ass. I would leave this question last. Beat a bitch ass. Hey sis, I'm usually not the violent type, but I'm emailing you because I fought a woman who has been harassing me ever since I moved into the neighborhood. I don't live in Blackistan or the hood, but I live in a metropolitan city. I would tell you where, but I want to remain anonymous. Granted. She's the bitter baby mama type who has multiple kids and a revolving door for men. I don't judge because it's none of my business, but I am observant. This woman has been all up in my business though. She has been doing petty shit like leaving her trash on my side of the yard, letting her kids yell and run up kids yell and run around at all hours of the day. I work from home. She purposely plays loud ass music at night while she's entertaining men. Lady of the night. I don't know if it's to mask the sex sounds or to annoy me, but nonetheless, it's tacky AF. I definitely agree. One day I flipped my shit while her kids weren't around, which is rare since they're always outside doing some stupid shit. She came up to my door talking about my car was too close to her side of the street, and that it was blocking her view. Mind you, this bitch doesn't work and we're on the same street side. There is no designated resident parking, just street parking, and I've always parked in the same location. Today she felt bold and demanded that I move my car because she has someone coming over. Someone meaning a neighbor, probably. I told her that my car isn't moving and that I've always parked it at the same spot. She started waving her finger in my face. Yeah, you gotta whoop that chick after that. So I lost it and I popped her in the face and grabbed her by the hair and dragged her to the concrete. Did you whoop that chick? Whoop that chick. Whoop that chick. No, no, I'm just playing. It felt like hours, but it was like 4 minutes top. She was bleeding and cursing, threatening to call the police and make a report. I'm not the violent type at all, but I got nervous. I've never been in legal trouble, so I told her if she dared to call the police, I'll call her leasing officer and tell them about the men she allows to stay the night. Okay, Scorpio. Be on that vengeful, calculating shit. She's on government assistance. I overheard her telling her girlfriend about them increasing the rent on her and how she's pissed. She has a few weeks. Um, I overheard her telling her girlfriend about them increasing the rent on her and how pissed she was a few weeks back. She looked back and said, I was evil, bitch, as she limped back to her side of the fence. My question to Spirit is, should I worry about retaliation and if I should apologize? Girl, nah, I don't think you should apologize. My personal opinion, I don't think you should apologize. I mean, you said like two times you're not the violent type, so I'm assuming you're not the violent type. But I feel like people be trying people, especially when they think like you soft or you're a goody two shoes or you're not about that life or you're a pushover or a doormat. They feel like they could try you, but sometimes you gotta let people know that you're not the one or the two or the three. And I'm not gonna advocate for violence because felony assault is real, but I also feel like sometimes people got to get touched just to let them know that you're not the one. So I think girlie knows that you're not the one and she won't try you anymore. So my personal opinion is just like be easy, continue being yourself, and she'll know not to touch your gangster. But we'll see if she will retaliate. Cards, will this hood rat, who's a lady of the night, retaliate on our good sis? Why? Will this hood rat retaliate on our good sis? Why? Should she be nervous about it? Should she even be concerned? I feel like when you put that Scorpio energy and you was really on some like I wish you would if you ever call the police on my ass for whooping your trick ass. I'm going to tell you a leasing officer. So if she turn around and tell you what evil or whatever, she already know what it is, so she's not gonna try it. But we'll see if she will. We have the Three of Pentacles. Two more cards, Spirit. Two more cards. Two more cards for our good sis. Why? For beating that hood rat's ass. Judgment card. One more card. One more card. Damn, a lot of Emperor card. Goodness gracious. And the Emperor card in reverse. So what I'm getting from this is like you felt like a little tug of war. I'm seeing that you were trying to be collaborative. You were trying to be neighborly. You were trying to like not cause any waves. But I think because I don't know, maybe she's jealous of you. Maybe you cute. Maybe you ain't got no kids. So she like, damn, I'm stuck with these kids. Shoot, she should be stuck with some you popped off. Nuck if you buck. And you nucked. And I guess she wasn't that buck. But you're wondering, will this affect you in the long run? And from what I'm getting with the judgment card is that I don't believe it will be. I feel like she probably will stay in her lane. She probably won't like you. She probably will be saying things under her breath. But I don't think it will impact you to the point where um, you will have the cops knocking on your door. I think if anything, she will know that everybody got a breaking point and her fuck shit will end up causing her to get her face broken in. And her bullshit can be someone's straw that breaks the camel back. And she knows that she fucked up. She knows that she definitely has a hand in this. And this wasn't just you just being vengeful or whatever, even though you got that Scorpio energy in you. I don't even know if you're a Scorpio, but it gives me Scorpio vibes. But she definitely knows that she's not in the right, especially for the fact that she's having different men come visit her, and she don't want the leasing officers to know. So she knows that you got something over her head, so she will like relax on it. But with the Emperor card in reverse, I feel like maybe it's time to move, sis. Like maybe it's time to seek a different place to exist, because if it's getting you to the point where you out here, coming out of character and doing stuff that you typically won't do, then maybe it's not giving you the stability that you want, and there's no point of planting long-term seeds. Maybe it's time for you to see what else is out there after, the whole corona situation. There's that. But that's what I'm getting from the cards. I don't really see retaliation versus that maybe it's time for you to get. But that is the reading, you all. We went over an hour, but it was all good in the hood. Hopefully, I answered y'all's question. Again, this is not a full blown reading. This is kind of like an advice, calmness, self help type of thing. It's very brief. It's my opinions because I'm opinionated and I'm a Taurus, but it's also spirit and divine guiding us and guiding me as I answer y'all's questions. If you would like to be chosen for possibly a segment on Spiritual Hour, you can definitely email me at BlackWomanVibes um, at gmail.com, BlackWomanVibes at gmail.com. Again, if you want to be anonymous, just say anonymous. If you don't want to be anonymous, you can choose not to be anonymous. Keep it brief, keep it a paragraph. Please spell check because I may or may not. But yeah, just send in your questions. I will select them. If you're selected, I'll reach back out to you and be like, yeah, I selected your question. I'm going to read it on this week and you'll be number whatever. And again, I'm not going to tell your name. If you don't want your name to be presented, I'll just use the first letter so you know that it's you. And once your question is selected, you'll just throw me a donation via Cash App or PayPal, $20, and your question will be read and will be answered. Stay tuned for Friday. We will be doing our first Why Did You Divest This series or segment. It will start at 6 p.m. and it's just basically y'all calling up and letting us know on the YouTube channel, just the world know that why did you divest? Is your personal testimony, your personal opinions, your stories, your whatever from your point of view, and no one can test you, no one can not distract, but describe it for you or put words in your mouth because it's straight from the camel's mouth. And you have control of your own narrative. Hopefully, women from different sides of the country and different ages and whatnot can come and tell me and the world essentially why they divested from their point of view. You can be anonymous, just like when you submit your questions for a spiritual hour, you can be anonymous. But I would like you to tell me your real age and your real location, whether it's state, whether it's region, whether it's whatever you're comfortable with. But y'all will be able to call in, and I have a call in number, and I'll let you know what the call in number is on Friday. Okay? You can catch me on Facebook, Black Woman Vibes, Instagram, Black Woman Vibes, Twitter, Black Woman Vibes. You can also subscribe to my website, www.viesme.com, VIEISME.com. I got blogs. I got blogs about Black women. I got blogs about sexual trauma, and I have blogs about healing. If that's something that's important to you, mental health is important to you, mindfulness is important to you, knowing that our realities and statistics and things that we experience and need to overcome, definitely check out the website. Eventually, I want to migrate this platform over to the website, but I want to get this platform beefy enough to be able to do that. And then have our private conversations on the website where no prying eyes and those who are not like us or care for us will be able to see said content. You can also catch Black Woman Vibes podcast. I have a podcast. We are on season 2. And we started off with season 1 talking about all things that pertain to Black women, our experiences, our ups, our downs, our trials and tribulations, things that we don't know, things about ourselves that we need to work out. And then season 2 was literally holding a mirror to Black women's faces and being like, look, these are the things that are affecting us. These are the things that we're going about that's not conducive to our overall growth and our survival, whether it's putting men before ourselves, whether it's being a pick me, whether it is internalizing race first politics and not actually understanding our womanhood or even valuing our womanhood, and excusing men who harm us, like sex trafficking, and understanding that we are multidimensional beings like dark femininity, and other podcast topics like my body, my choice, virginity. So definitely check out season 2. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, in a whole forms. Definitely Google it. It will pop up, as well as on the website vieisme.com, www.vieisme.com. There's a designated tab just for Black Woman Vibes podcast, so check it out. With all that being said, isn't it time for Black women to live and live well? Be the best version of yourself by mastering yourself. And a part of mastering yourself is getting in touch with the divine. Like, all of this was like question and answers and all that good stuff, and I keyed, but it's really getting in touch with the divine. It's really getting in touch with your intuition, getting in touch with spirit, becoming one, being intuitive, getting those gut messages, listening to your inner voice, trusting in yourself, healing those wounds, whether it's daddy wounds or mommy wounds, whatever wounds they are, to be more empowered and be the best version of yourself. Um, with that being said, be blessed, be enlightened, be loved. I am out. Peace.